it's Jack. So today's video is really going to be a follow on from the last video that I uploaded. And as you can probably tell by the title of this video, it's really going to be around how to reprogram your subconscious mind to attract more money using the power of AI. So it's a pretty bizarre concept. It's actually something that I've been doing for pretty much the last year. I'd say I've just kind of got back into it now. And there's a multi-step process that I'm going to go into in today's video. And the first step really begins with, identifying your current beliefs, right? And as I was kind of thinking about this and, having gone through this process myself, what I realize is a lot of our beliefs we're not even aware of, right? There's so many beliefs that are unconscious, right? So this kind of got me thinking in terms of like, how can I uncover my unconscious beliefs, right? Because in order to change your belief system, you need to know what those beliefs are that are holding you back, right? So it kind of led me down this path then, and I ended up, full disclaimer, finding somebody else who works in my space. He's an affiliate marketer who's done very well for himself, and he was kind of explaining that the process that he went through was actually, first of all, starting with the conscious beliefs that you are aware of that are holding you back. So let's say it's the context of media buying, and I'll give myself as an example. Whenever I was going through this process, because like I mentioned in the last video, I've kind of come up against a wall recently where I've been struggling to scale my campaigns. As I was going through my conscious beliefs that I was aware of that maybe were limiting me. An example of one of those beliefs, maybe, at least in my case, affiliate marketing is incredibly competitive, which there's some truth to that. But again, it depends which market you're operating in. And that was just one of many beliefs that I was actually conscious of, okay? But then in terms of, other beliefs that I wasn't aware of, the process for that I learned from this other lad that I met is really going through a list of beliefs that may be holding you back, but you're not 100% sure. For example, in the context of making money is hard. And that is a belief for a lot of people, whether they're aware of it or not. And making money online is hard is another big one. So really, that would be the kind of process that I have gone through, and that I would suggest that you go through too, is go through a list of the big beliefs, because it's like the 80-20 rule. If you can see that you have some of the big, most common limiting beliefs around making money, at least if you can solve those, you're going to be 99% ahead of most people, right? So what I'm going to do is, for that step one, essentially, of identifying unconscious beliefs and conscious beliefs, I'm going to link a PDF inside my free school community that you can actually go through and, start to go through them one by one, to see if you have those beliefs. And that kind of leads to step two then. How do you know that you have that belief or not? Because again, a lot of these beliefs are under the surface and we're not even aware of them, right? And after again researching online, I couldn't really get a clear answer until I spoke to this lad who's made millions of dollars as an affiliate marketer, who's financially free, and again, what I'm explaining here was the key to his success, just like it was for me when I was working in sales. Um, and really, the process that he explained to me, that I've also now recently gone through myself, is this concept called muscle testing. Okay, so you're probably like, same as me when I first heard about it. What on earth is muscle testing? Okay, so muscle testing is a super straightforward way to basically speak to your subconscious mind and see if you have that belief. So really, how that ties into step one then is, you know, what I would suggest that you do, and this is what I've gone through recently, is go through that list of beliefs, that PDF, one by one, and ask yourself the statement, or say to yourself the statement. So, for example, making money online is hard. Is the statement, and what you essentially do, and I'm going to link a video below, is you stand upright and you start off by stating things that you know are true. Okay, so for example, I would start with, "My name is Jack. You know, I was born in I was born in Australia, but I lived in Ireland all my life." And you start off with these statements that are 100% true. And what you will actually do, you're standing upright, your body will either lean forward if it's true slightly, or it'll lean back if it's not true. Okay, so obviously when you're saying the true statements, your body will naturally lean forward slightly, and in the polar sense, then whenever you hit a belief that you don't believe is true, your body will lean back. Okay, so for example, if you get to one of the first beliefs in that list that I'm going to share, making money online is hard, your body is either going to lean forward slightly or lean back slightly. Okay, and it's really just going to be a matter of going through that process and seeing what rings true to you. Which of these big beliefs do you believe or not believe? It's going to give you a very clear black and white picture of where your limiting beliefs are, and it's going to bring awareness to the ones that you need to change, right? So that's really step two, is doing that stress testing and going through the list I shared. You can obviously feel free to add more to that list, but these are going to be the big ones that I feel, if you're able to solve and absorb the opposite of that belief, the positive version, the empowering version of any of those limiting beliefs, you're going to be ahead of 99% of people. Okay, so that's step two, is the muscle testing. Now, step three then, once you've identified all of those limiting beliefs, is really rewriting those beliefs in the positive, empowering statement, in a positive, empowering statement. Okay, so let's use the example of making money online is hard. The empowering version of that limiting belief would be, making money online is easy. Now, it's not enough to just write the opposite of the belief. You actually want to take it a step further, and as I explained in the last video, kind of build like a sales statement, but more like wrap it into an emotional story. So one that I have in my own story that I listen to every day is, making money online is so easy a 5-year-old could do. So it's really taking it that step further and wrapping it into a a memorable story or analogy to really hammer home just how easy making money is. Another statement that I love is, I've got more money than I know what to do with. Um, I make so much money every single month that my biggest problem is deciding where to invest my excess cash. These are all statements that I've built off the limiting beliefs that I realized that I had, that making money online was hard. And you can really get creative with this, but the idea is to make it emotional, to make it memorable, to really emphasize and make it outrageous. The more outrageous that you can make it, the bigger of an impact it's going to have on the emotion, to then make it memorable, and make that process of absorbing it into your subconscious mind that bit easier. Okay. And this might take some time. This whole process, take your time with it, but it's super important to go through that step of making it memorable. And I would also say that it's going to evolve over time, right? Like, I'm always adding to my story as new limiting beliefs I realize come up, and new goals come up. It's going to evolve over time. But yeah, the best thing you can do is obviously just start with one and add to it, as you progress. Right. So that's step three. Then is crafting your story and making it emotional, making it memorable, and creating a positive program to install into your subconscious mind. So step four then is, this is really where we're going to bring AI into the equation, right? Because we want to make this process of reprogramming our subconscious mind simple, fun, and easy. And ever since AI came into the scene, like, that's really what it's done for a lot of people. It's made typically boring, monotonous tasks easy. So easy a 5-year-old could do it. And this is really what we want to. This is really how we want to approach reprogramming our subconscious mind. Because if we just rewind for a second, your subconscious beliefs happen between the ages of 0 and 7 years old, right? So all these programs are installed into our minds because during those formative years, as a child, our brain is in a theta state, which essentially means that it's more susceptible to be programmed. And we can't choose that programming during those 0 to 7 years. So we'll pick it up from parents, teachers, friends, the news, TV shows, all these different sources, but we aren't consciously programming our own minds. And, what you have to understand is all of your beliefs are BS, right? And once you're aware of that, why not choose empowering beliefs? Why not? And the reason is that a lot of people, even though they understand the logic behind it, like I've just explained, is that, for example, I'm now 27 years old, and I've been doing this for the last few years, I'd say, but more recently kind of got back into it. To undo, and let's say you're a similar age and you're just getting into this now for the first time, to undo 27 years of programming, it can happen fast, and you can start to see results fast, but it's going to take time. And I would approach it like it's going to take time, right? Because 27 years, it's obviously, I'm still a young man, but the older you are, the more programming has to be deprogrammed, right? There's a lot at play there, is really what I'm trying to say. And that really got me thinking, when I first initially kind of designed this process, is how can I make it easy then? How can I gamify this experience where I'm going to stick to it, I'm going to be consistent with it, so I can actually deprogram myself and reprogram my mind to attract wealth and abundance and make that whole experience, like going to the gym. Like I enjoy going to the gym or going for a walk. I was really just trying to think how I could make it fun, so I actually stuck with it and was consistent, because that's really the key to this entire thing is repetition, right? People, they understand the whole concept, but the biggest thing they miss out on is that repetition, because they don't see results straight away. They get bored. We live in an instant gratification era. So this is really where AI comes into the picture, where it can make it fun, so you actually stick to it and you enjoy it and you look forward to it each day, so that you can actually start to see the results over time as you start to embody these new beliefs, because it's going to take time. It can happen fast and you can see results fast, but I would approach it like anything, that it's going to take time. The longer you do it, the better the results that you're going to see. Just like going to the gym. Okay, so with that in mind, then, the tools that I recommend for this is 11 labs. Okay, so what you can do, as I'm sure many of you are already familiar with, is you can actually clone your voice with 11 labs. You can either clone your own voice or use one of the default AI voices. Some people might find it easier to listen to their own voice speaking the new beliefs to them, because it's almost like the future version of yourself who already has these beliefs is speaking to your present self, and it can make that integration process a little bit easier. So that's what I would suggest is, getting a microphone on Amazon, making sure it's high quality, recording yourself speaking a few sentences, and then using that audio to clone your voice, and then read your story. Okay, and once you've kind of taken the time to tune the voice, have it read through your emotional story. Obviously, you can listen to it back, tweak it until you're happy with the end result. Because you're going to be listening to this every day for the long run, for at least 21 days, because that's the amount of time that it takes to develop a new habit. But you want to enjoy listening to it. You want it to be high quality, and you want to be able to feel the emotion listening back to it. That's really important. So it's very simple. Now, really, then the final step is adding some music. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, where a lot of these subconscious beliefs are absorbed is between the ages of 0 and 7 years old, and it's all about that theta brain state. So once you've got your final audio track from 11 labs, what I suggest you do is that you merge it with a theta brainwave soundtrack, and lower the use it as a background track. So you might want to lower the volume a little bit, get it down to maybe 10-20%, so you can still hear it in the background. But it's really important to add that, because that frequency of the theta music and theta track is going to activate those theta brain waves more easily once you get into the practice of lying down, getting into that state where you're listening back to your track. Because again, the importance of the theta brainwave state is that it makes it easier to absorb these beliefs, which I'll get into in the final step now. But that's a super important step to add to that whole experience of making it easy, making it enjoyable, and making it emotional, so you can absorb that new positive programming that you are consciously working on each day. And there's tons of tracks on YouTube that you can just go and search, theta brainwave audio track, and just choose one you like. And yeah, you can create a few different versions if you want to listen to different audio tracks each day. The choice is really yours. But that's really, I would say that's step 4. And the fifth and final step then is obviously getting into the practice of doing this. Okay. And what I suggest is I personally enjoy just lying down. I know some people say that it's good to sit in an upright position. It's really up to you. I personally prefer typically in the morning time to, once I've kind of got a bit of work done. You can do it before work. It's all personal preference. But really, what I've found that I've stuck with is lying down, turning off my phone, turning off all distractions, and I'm just playing the audio track back. Releasing all stress in my body, doing a scan of my body and releasing all tension, getting into a really relaxed state, and just enjoying the process. Listening to the words, these new empowering beliefs, and really pairing that with a visualization, right? Because the most incredible thing about the subconscious mind, and Maxwell Maltz mentions this in his book Psycho-Cybernetics, is that experience is one of the most powerful ways to develop your self-image and really accelerate this reprogramming process. And you don't have to actually go and experience these things in real life. So let's say that you're working on attracting more money. You don't need to actually go and make more money to experience the feeling, the taste, the sounds of actually making more money. You can use the power of visualization in pair with listening back to your audio track to visualize that version of yourself, having already made the money. And once you combine all of these elements, you've got the theta track in the background, you're creating a very powerful experience, a very memorable experience that I know, because I've done this in the past during my sales career, and now I'm doing it again to reach new levels as a media buyer. I know that this stuff works. There's countless evidence online. I've experienced it firsthand. But by gamifying it with AI, you can really make it fun, you can make it simple, and you can make it easy. And that means you're more likely to stick to it and actually see the results and become the person who can actually achieve those goals. Okay, so that's really it. Just to recap, step 1, uncover your beliefs. Step 2 was really testing your beliefs with the muscle testing. Step 3, I believe, was the I'm just thinking now. So step 1 was uncovering the beliefs, both unconscious and conscious, using the muscle testing. Step 2 then was obviously writing the positive version of those beliefs once you actually know what those beliefs are, and really, building those into a story, into an emotional story, which I guess we could say as part of step 2, or maybe move that into step 3. Step 4 then is obviously recording that story with 11 labs, cloning your voice, having it read through the script. And then step 5 is the yeah, we could say step 4 and step 5 is the AI piece. So the 11 Labs voiceover, and also the adding the theta soundtrack. And then step 5 is actually the practice of listening to it back, getting into a meditative state, um, incorporating visualization, and actually committing to it and sticking to it. So that's really the 5-step process. Just took me a few minutes to recall it. Not using any notes in this video. I'm testing a new format of just doing it all based on my own thoughts. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. So hopefully you enjoyed the new format. I personally enjoyed this format a lot more than reading the Google Doc. So I might adopt this moving forward. But yeah, if you want to grab a list of the biggest beliefs that the guy that I kind of learned this off used to as a starting point to overcome in his own life as an affiliate marketer, to then go on from spending $30 a day to now he's making, I think, like anywhere from 10 to 30 grand a day profit. I'll actually add that list of beliefs, and I'll also add some myself to my free school community. So if you want to see what those are, feel free to click the link in the description. The school community is new. I'm going to be adding more exclusive content there. I'm going to be bringing in speakers around the concept of self-image, subconscious programming, all these things. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you there. It's called the Self-Image Wizard. Well, yeah. That's all for today's video. I will see you in the next one.